This is every seaplane used in World War II combat, from long-range maritime patrol aircraft to ship launch scouts, from torpedo bombers to transport and rescue platforms. This catalog covers every seaplane type that entered operational combat service during the conflict. In total, dozens of distinct designs flew missions across every ocean and theater. Some represented mature, highly effective naval aviation concepts, while others reflected improvisation, technological limits, or desperate wartime necessity. Maritime patrol and anti-submarine seaplanes. Maritime patrol seaplanes formed the backbone of long-range ocean surveillance and convoy protection throughout the war. The consolidated PBY Catalina served as a long-range patrol, reconnaissance, and anti-submarine aircraft. Its exceptional endurance allowed multi-day patrols over vast ocean areas. Catalinas operated in every theater, sinking submarines, rescuing downed airmen, and providing early warning. Though slow speed and limited defensive armament made them vulnerable to fighters. The Short Sunderland was a British four-engine flying boat designed for extended maritime patrol. It carried heavy defensive armament and significant bomb loads, earning a reputation as a resilient submarine hunter despite strong performance. Its size and cost limited production compared to land-based alternatives. The Kawanishi H-6K Mavis functioned as a Japanese long-range reconnaissance flying boat. It provided early war strategic scouting across the Pacific, including intelligence gathering before major fleet actions, increasing Allied air superiority and inadequate defensive protection led to heavy losses. The Kawanishi H-8K Emily represented Japan's most advanced flying boat design. It combined long-range, strong defensive firepower, and heavy payload capacity. Despite excellent performance, limited production numbers restricted its overall impact. The Dornier Du 24 operated primarily as a German maritime patrol and rescue seaplane. Its robust hull and good seakeeping qualities allowed operations in rough conditions. It saw widespread service, but lacked the range of larger Allied designs. Ship launch scout and observation seaplanes. Catapult launch seaplanes extended the reconnaissance reach of battleships and cruisers. The Arado R-196 served as the standard German shipborne reconnaissance seaplane. It provided artillery spotting, convoy patrol, and coastal reconnaissance. Effective handling and good defensive armament made it one of the most successful floatplanes of the war. The Aichi-13A Jake was the Imperial Japanese Navy's primary long-range reconnaissance floatplane. It operated from cruisers, battleships, and shore bases across the Pacific. Its light construction and limited protection left it vulnerable late in the war. The Mitsubishi F-1M functioned as a Japanese observation and reconnaissance floatplane. It also performed limited fighter interception and ground attack missions, despite agility. Its obsolescence became apparent as Allied fighters proliferated. The WWII Kingfisher served the United States Navy as a ship launch observation aircraft. It conducted artillery spotting, reconnaissance, and air-sea rescue missions. Its modest performance limited survivability in contested airspace. The Supermarine Walrus fulfilled British naval reconnaissance and rescue roles. Its amphibious capability allowed operations from ships and shore bases, although outdated by mid-war standards. It remained useful in secondary theaters. Torpedo bomber and strike seaplanes. Some seaplanes were designed for direct attack against surface targets. The Nakajima A6M2N Roof was a floatplane fighter adapted from the Zero. It provided air defense for remote island bases lacking runways, while maneuverable. Performance penalties from floats reduced effectiveness against modern fighters. The Kawanishi 7K Alf initially served as a Japanese reconnaissance and light attack floatplane. It was capable of carrying bombs for anti-shipping strikes. Rapid obsolescence relegated it to secondary duties early in the war. The Heinkel E-115 was a German torpedo-capable floatplane bomber. It conducted anti-shipping and mine-laying operations in northern waters. Vulnerability to fighters and limited numbers curtailed its operational longevity. Transport and logistics seaplanes. Seaplanes also supported logistics in areas without established infrastructure. The Dornier Du 26 operated as a German long-range transport and supply seaplane. It delivered personnel and cargo to remote locations, including Norway. Small production numbers and Allied interception limited its strategic value. The short Empire flying boats, Adapted for military service, carried personnel and priority cargo across long distances, they maintained vital communication routes between allied territories. Their civilian origins limited survivability in contested zones. Search, rescue, and utility seaplanes. Dedicated utility seaplanes provided essential, but often overlooked services. The Grumman J-2F Duck served as a utility, liaison, and rescue aircraft. Its amphibious design allowed flexible operations near the front, while lightly armed. It proved indispensable for recovery and transport missions. The Blown-Man Voss BV-130A was a German maritime patrol and utility flying boat. It operated extensively over the North Sea and Arctic regions. Harsh operating conditions and allied air pressure imposed heavy attrition. Experimental and limited production seaplanes. Several designs saw combat despite limited production or experimental status. The Blown-Man Voss BV-220 Viking functioned as a heavy transport flying boat. It delivered supplies to isolated theaters and evacuated personnel. Its size made it an attractive target. And very few were built. The Ladakor 631, used by Vichy and later Allied forces, was a large French flying boat adapted for patrol and transport. Mechanical complexity and maintenance challenges limited operational effectiveness. This catalog has documented every seaplane used in World War II combat, from ocean-spanning patrol flying boats to compact ship-launched scouts. These aircraft operated at the intersection of naval and aerial warfare. Collectively, they reflect the strategic demands, industrial capabilities, and technological constraints of a global maritime conflict by the war's end. Advances in land-based aviation and aircraft carriers reduced the need for combat seaplanes, marking the close of a distinct and influential chapter in military aviation history.